I'm Mike,
And I'm Matt.
and this is The Coin Show.
Take just one last breath before you enter.
On this episode of The Coin Show, Matt tells us about the 1969 Lincoln Memorial Double Die Cent. I'll talk about early 20th century gold coins, and we'll talk about the coolest thing to walk into Matt's shop this week. But first, the news. The news is sponsored by the American Numismatic Association. Join today at money.org/join to be part of the world's largest organization dedicated to numismatic education. Matt, the 2015 proof sets are now available.
I saw.
Yes, the 14 coin sets made their debut March 24th at a price of $32.95 on the U.S. Mint website. Now, these sets, remain one of the most popular offerings every single year, despite their increasing prices.
It's nuts.
It's amazing how, 15 years ago, these sets sold for, before the statehood quarters. So
Yeah, like 1998.
You got to go back. Yeah, you got to go back 18 years. And 18 years ago, a proof set sold for about $12.
Yeah.
And now they're 30.
40
Well, they were
bucks.
31 last year, and they're 32 this year. And anyways, I'll stop crying about it. This year's set includes quarters for. Now, put your agate down for a minute, and we'll see if you can.
I'm not looking.
We'll see if you can guess the states.
Where they're from? Okay.
Yes, Homestead National Monument.
I'm going to guess that's in Florida.
That is in Nebraska.
Nebraska.
There is Homestead, Florida is where I thought it was.
Yeah.
Kisatchie National Forest.
Now that sounds more like Florida.
That's Louisiana.
I was close again. I'm just going to say Florida for all of them.
Yeah. Blue Ridge Parkway.
Blue Ridge Parkway, that's... I know where it's at. I just got to figure out which state.
Well, it actually goes through several states.
I know. That's one. North Carolina?
Very good.
Yeah.
Bombay National Wildlife Refuge. That's not India.
I have no idea.
Delaware.
Delaware.
And Saratoga National Historic Park.
That's probably in New York.
That is New York. Now, also included are the presidential dollars for Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Lyndon B. Johnson. Middle initials are a big hit this year. And an interesting fact, this is something that I heard that I really didn't know. Do you know what Harry S. Truman, what the S stands for?
No, I sure don't.
It really doesn't stand for anything. Harry Truman had no middle name.
So why?
And the S was given to him as a middle name because it sounded good. I'm dead serious.
By who?
As one of his campaign managers.
Really?
Honest to God.
That's awesome.
Harry S. Truman, yeah. So
Matt S. Dinger.
yeah, well,
I like it.
but you've got a middle name, don't you?
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's those four guys as well as the Native American dollar featuring the reverse design honoring the Mohawk Ironworkers. Now, the Mohawk Ironworkers contributed to the building of many New York City skyscrapers.
Yeah, I think I did know that.
Yeah, so this year's Native American dollar shows an iron worker, and they were big contributors to the skyline and to the growing of New York City.
Cool.
Yeah. The Royal Canadian Mint is issuing coins to commemorate the FIFA Women's World Cup. That's everybody's favorite sport. That will be played in Canada later this year after all the snow melts.
You mean about July?
Yeah, well, that's when the snow melts in Canada. The RCM plans to offer a 20 for 20 coin, $20 for $20 coin at face value, four $10 silver coins, and three $75 gold coins to mark the event.
Hmm.
Now, two of the silver coins will feature colorized with the U designs.
Coolerized from
Yes,
Canada.
colorized.
Like Coulier.
Something like that, yeah. He is Canadian
Yes, he is. Very.
and a really wacky dude. The 20 for $20 is available now on the RCM website at www.mint.ca, and the other coins will be available April 7th. Now, if you look at the coins, I like the colorized ones.
Yeah, they're not for me.
Okay, well, I mean they're just different. Uh, they're hosting one of the world's biggest soccer events. So they say.
I'm a fat guy. I'll tell you that my level of caring about soccer, which is a sport I'll never play, no.
You could
But
be
go
you could be a
Canada.
great goalie.
Yeah, because I blocked the whole goal.
It's not really what I meant, but I'll
I,
take it.
yeah, it's true.
The Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee is seeking commemorative coins to mark the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission in 2019.
Now there you go. There is something that I think is worth commemorating.
See, I thought that this was something that we could all agree upon.
Yeah.
Apollo 11 placed a man on the moon for the very first time. It was a historic feat and a technological marvel, the likes of which we really haven't seen since.
No.
Now, the committee seeks a $5 gold coin, a silver $1 coin, and your favorite,
Oh, clad.
flat half dollar.
Oh, boo.
CCAC Chairman Gary Marks is quoted as saying, and this is a quote, "I think this is a no-brainer."
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and while I agree that if nothing else in the history of mankind deserves commemoration, this event does. But I would suggest using just a little bit more brain and coming up with a program that is more palatable to collectors. There needs to be a better way of making a commemorative coin affordable than the clad half dollar. They lag in sales behind the other options in virtually every single program.
Yep.
And it is my humble opinion that the public might be better served with a different option. So instead of the no-brainer, let's make it a some-brainer and try and come up with something besides it's almost cookie cutter. $5 gold, silver $1, clad half.
What would you recommend, Mike?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you could do something along the lines of maybe a silver quarter.
There you go.
Something that's smaller, so it's not $50 or $35 to sell,
Yeah.
but yet at the same time offers a budget collector something that's at least worth having. And I would also recommend maybe that they do it in a curved design like the baseball,
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
and put craters in it.
Craters. Yeah, I think somebody's done that before, though. I can't remember who, or if it was a coin or a metal, but I think I'd seen something like that before.
Well, I know that the set from the Perth Mint in Australia that does the constellations
Yeah.
have been wildly popular. I mean, it's a really cool design. I think that this is another really good opportunity to do something with a curved coin.
Yeah. I agree.
Show off your new technology and do something maybe a little bit smaller. You don't have to do the $5, the dollar, and the whatever your affordable option is in a curved coin. You can maybe just do the quarter like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's neat.
I just think that'd be cool. So that's my 2 cents on clad 50 cents. The Royal Mint, and we're making our way around the world this time in the news. The Royal Mint in the United Kingdom has announced that the Britannia design will return to coinage this year on £2 coins.
Oh, cool.
CoinWeek.com is reporting that the Prime Minister, David Cameron, said, "It is great to see Britannia's welcome return to our currency. Making her first appearance on our coins in the 17th century, Britannia is an enduring symbol of our national identity, ideal to help reinforce the strong sense of shared purpose and history for modern Britons." Now, the coins in Great Britain will also feature an updated portrait of Her Majesty the Queen. For the first time since 1998, it is the fifth portrait of Elizabeth to be used.
A new portrait.
A new portrait.
Interesting. They don't have a
Yeah.
picture of it, though.
No, they didn't have a picture of that available yet. I'm quite certain that as the year comes on, it will be released,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she'll be completely amused. Um, you know, I don't know. I mean, Elizabeth she's got to be in her 80s.
400.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's getting on in years, and I just don't understand why the changes in portrait.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand why she's aging, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, 1998.
unlike the United States, a lot of other countries put living people on their coins. They want them to look as they do in person.
Yeah, no, one living person,
Well, yeah, that's true.
the
But
monarch.
of all
We're
monarchs,
we're kind of against that here,
yeah, you know, Revolutionary War and all,
Yeah, well,
Boston Tea Party.
we fought a whole war to get away from that whole thing. And finally, in the news, once again, the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee is calling for a return of Lady Liberty to our circulating coinage.
Oh, thank you. Finally, we have some people on the Citizens Advisory Committee, Coinage Advisory Committee, that have maybe they listen to this show because that's what we've been saying for years now.
Well, I think collectors in general have been calling for it. The committee is calling for Congress. Well, wait until you hear their idea, and then
okay.
maybe it might not be.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Here we go.
The committee is calling for Congress to authorize the American Liberty Coinage Program beginning in 2017. So that's just 2 years from now.
Yeah.
The program calls for new designs featuring Lady Liberty to grace both the dime and the quarter beginning in 2017.
It's a step in the right direction. I mean,
alongside the continued minting of Roosevelt dime and American Beautiful quarters. See, the ATB quarters have still got a couple of years to go yet.
So they're going to make a quarter with Washington on one side, and then
the Parks
on the other, and then they're going to do a separate quarter with Liberty. Right. Okay, well, nice try, guys.
Wait, it gets better.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, and a dime with Roosevelt dime circulating side by side. The resolution, which was unanimously adopted, wants the new designs to be minted for 1 year and then replaced at the end of each year with new Liberty designs. Now,
I'm shaking my head if you can't see.
Yeah, I can't see, but I would imagine so. Now, it'd be very similar to what they do with the Native American dollar reverses.
Yeah.
But for my money, I'd like to see a return of Lady Liberty to our coinage, but I think that we should do it as a replacement for the dead president's theme.
Yeah.
As the America the Beautiful Quarter program ends. And that we should replace one dead president a year until all the current designs have been changed.
It's not a bad idea. I like your idea a lot better than the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think that their knowledge of how hard it is to change things, is they're trying to say, well, we could kind of baby step it, and we could get a lot of new designs involved. My thing is that I think that there are some good designs, but there are not a ton of them out there that are available.
Yeah.
And so, we should pick, I mean, there's 6 coins?
Yeah.
So let's find 6 really worthy designs and get them done.
I'm just waiting. In 10 years, there's going to be a 70-piece proof set.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Well, when they do the solar system silver dollars.
Yeah.
And all that.
I mean, it's getting nuts.
I'd also like to note that lobbying the Secretary of the Treasury to approve a redesign of the dime would be a different route, as getting anything through Congress is seemingly impossible over the last couple of years. I think that Americans in general would embrace change in their pocket, and one person's authorization would be infinitely easier to garner. Now, the law says that if if a design has been in place for 25 years, that all you need is the approval of the Secretary of the Treasury to change it.
Hmm.
So we could go at it. We could go at the Roosevelt dime and just get one person to approve it and get a Lady Liberty design on a coin. And as Americans look at it and go, wow, this is nice. I like this.
Then they might start to look at the
They
older
might
stuff.
start to lobby Congress to get some of the other stuff changed and kind of move away from, because uh, if you think back to the early 20th century, it's what I always refer to as the Renaissance of American coinage. They replaced one design at a time, one design at a time. And then as you move past that, you started with the dead president's theme, it was one coin at a time. And it kind of slowly took over and took hold and then put a stranglehold on it, and we can't get rid of it. So it's my thought that if we moved one denomination at a time, it might be easier to get done. With the idea that you could get the Secretary of the Treasury to approve one because we have one that's eligible now. As a matter of fact, we have two that are eligible because you could do the half dollar as well. However, I mean, because the half dollars really don't circulate, it's a bad
Hmm.
road to go. I would go for the dime. Dimes are available. They're made at a profit. There's absolutely nothing that would want you to obsolete the denomination.
Yeah.
Just food for thought.
Yeah. Interesting. Definitely something to think about. Hopefully, maybe you or I should try to get on this citizens advisory committee.
Oh, I don't think that they could deal with the good news.
They might. You never know.
Members of the American Numismatic Association have access to the Dwight N. Manley Numismatic Library. You say that 10 times fast. The world's largest numismatic lending library. The library will even ship books to your home. All you pay is the cost of shipping. Take advantage of this great research opportunity today. Go to money.org/join to become a member. Matt, I was looking at the subjects that both you and I prepared. I kind of left you in the dark as far as what I was doing this week.
You always do.
But if you listen to the introduction, you know what I'm doing.
I did. So I'm a little scared.
Well, it's funny because it seems like you and I have kind of changed places.
Yeah, a little.
You come with something very, very modern
Yeah.
and very, new. As a matter of fact, this coin was named to Whitman's 100 greatest modern coins.
That doesn't surprise me because these coins are really cool. And of course, we're talking about the 1969 S double die obverse penny. Um, I've always been a fan of errors and varieties, so this one I've wanted to cover it for a while. I just finding the time and energy to put something together about it. It's not easy. Um, I think this variety is really cool. Firstly, because it wasn't even discovered until 1994. Did you know that?
No,
Yeah.
that's a long time to go without
Well,
any notice.
well, and I mean, and have you ever seen a picture of one of these?
I have because it's on the cover of 100 greatest modern
Oh,
U.S. coins.
perfect, perfect. So looking at the picture, you can see that this doubling is just massive. This coin really has doubling that is almost on par with the 1955 double die, which a lot more people are familiar with.
And that's what makes it so surprising that it hasn't been that went so long unnoticed.
Exactly. That was my point there. Now, there's a little backstory to the coin, and I'll kind of rattle it off for you. In 1994, a collector from New York found an example in an uncirculated roll that was subsequently graded MS-64 by PCI, which is now out of business. And a California coin dealer bought the coin on August 24th, 1994, and then sold it to a client for $10,000. And the dealer then bought the coin back on April 4th, 1995, and then sold it to another client for $10,900. So far, this coin's traded hands 3 times between August of 94 and April of 95. It was then repurchased by the same dealer again and sold in 1999 for $25,000.
I was going to say,
So,
couldn't he figure out another coin that he could make a living off of?
you know what though? If you find your niche, you
I
know
guess.
go.
Find something you're good at.
It was after this date that the coin was crossed over to a PCGS MS64 holder. Now, on November 26, 2001, the coin sold again for $35,000.
He bought it again,
Yes.
a fourth time,
Yes.
and flipped it again.
But we're not done yet. March 21st, 2002, the same dealer bought another example that had come onto the market. This one grading PCGS MS65 red, and was sold for $59,500.
Wow.
So in a period of August of 94 to March of 2002, this coin sold, this particular, examples of this coin in mint state sold anywhere from $10,000 up to $60,000. Now, as of July 2011, PCGS has certified 31 examples, including 3 red-brown and 3 red examples. And the rest of them being lower grade circulated brown examples. Now, an interesting story. I don't remember if you saw this in the periodicals or not, but an anonymous collector in 2007 purchased 2 rolls of 1969 S cents from a Michigan coin dealer and found one 69S double die in each roll. So he found 2 uncirculated ones in 2 rolls.
Actually, I think I do remember seeing that in Coin World at one point.
Yep.
That he found one in each roll, which, you'd think where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's one, you're going to find a lot, and that really didn't turn out to be the case.
No, it was very interesting that he just found one in each roll, because as somebody that's gone through rolls looking and discovering double dies, usually depending on the die pair, like on the 2009 pennies, I actually discovered a couple of different double dies out of original boxes, and we were going through rolls and picking out 8, 10, 12 pieces per roll. So to just have one in a roll is really kind of odd, to be honest with you.
Well, and I think that it serves our listeners to explain basically this fact about it, is that a double die coin is not a coin that was struck more than once.
Mm-hmm.
It is a coin that the die was actually impressed more than once. And so every single coin that is struck with that die is going to have the exact same characteristics. It's going to have the same doubling.
Mm-hmm.
So since the United States Mint does not, change out dies, like every, 100 coins.
Yeah.
For there to only be 31 known examples of this coin, or somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 examples of the coin, there's got to be more of them out there.
Well, and that's the truth. But they also with doubling this severe, they probably caught it pretty quickly. Even in the 60s and 70s, they were still doing quality checks. They would pull some coins out of the stuff they were making and hit them with the loop and check them. So I'm sure that it was discovered and pulled relatively quickly. But
yeah, I have to say at that time it was very rare for error coins to escape the mint.
Yeah, I mean they did, but not like nothing like this really. Now, the one thing that collectors have to keep in mind is 69 S cents are also notorious for having what's called mechanical doubling or machine doubling, ejection doubling. It's all the same thing. And basically what that is caused by is a loose die in the coining press. And this causes shifting of the dies and also a shift in the surface, which can really mimic doubling. I see a lot of collectors, especially when there's a story out in the periodicals, that we get a lot of phone calls about 69S pennies with doubling on them, and every one of them so far has been mechanical. The one thing to remember on this particular coin is that the easiest way to tell a genuine one from a mechanically doubled one is the fact that the mint mark on that particular coin is not doubled at all because it was punched after the die was made.
So it was
Yeah.
punched into the finished die.
It was punched into the
And
finished die.
this is exactly why I don't collect die varieties, is
Mm-hmm.
because I cannot for the life of me get my head wrapped around the whole idea of shelf doubling, mechanical doubling, all this. I can't get it.
Yeah, well, and it is pretty complicated. If I was able to sit down with you, I could draw you a diagram and show you exactly the difference. But obviously we can't do that here.
Make me a genius.
Another cool thing that we found while researching this was that this real double die was actually tainted by a counterfeit. In 1969, Roy Gray and Morton Goodman began producing fake double die cents dated 1969, not knowing that there was a massive double die in 1969s. And this actually came to the attention of authorities. The Secret Service searched Gray's residence in July of '69. They discovered many different things that Gray was using to counterfeit American coins, including planchet punches, sheets of metal rolled to thicknesses of coins, coin collars. They also discovered an Aegeon electron discharge machine that was used to create electrospark copies. Basically, this is a machine that uses a process called spark erosion to create fake coin dies. So the 1969 double die obverse cents, the counterfeit ones, were confiscated by the Secret Service. And in their search for the 1969 P double dies, they actually found a few 1969 S's that they just wrote off as being from this same pair of counterfeiters.
And they were actually real double-dyed coins.
We'll never know because they were destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of an interesting story that I thought kind of went along with this. So if you happen to see a 1969 Lincoln cent floating around that has some sort of doubling on it, it's possible that it could be one of the counterfeits that these guys were making. But it's also possible that it could be, mechanical doubling again. So
now, are any of these double dies, have they ever been found in mint sets or any government sets?
As far as I know, no. As far as I know, the only way these coins have ever come to light is either out of circulation or out of uncirculated rolls that were saved by collectors of the day. So, it was funny. We had a customer come in last week that had some uncirculated penny rolls, and we were just going to say, you know what, take them to the bank. And I looked down, and they were 69 S's. I said, you know what, give them 75 cents a piece for them, and we'll go through them. And obviously, we didn't find anything, but
yeah,
it was better than just taking them and dumping them in the Coinstar machine.
Well, that's true.
So, but yeah, no, I thought that was. I thought 69 S's are really cool. I've had a couple in my hand. If you ever get a chance to look at one at a big show, I highly recommend it. They're really cool. Now,
anytime you have a coin that has really massive and easy to see doubling, like a 55, like a 72, and now like a 69S, they are really, really eye appealing, and they're interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and one thing I do want to close with is that there have been a few more that have sold over the last few years, and I think you're going to find this very interesting, Mike.
Okay.
In 2007, a collector found two more pieces, once again, a different collector than before, out of uncirculated rolls. He had them both certified by PCGS. One came back a 64 red, the other came back a 63 red. The 64 red sold at auction in January of 2008 for a price of $126,500.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
For a penny.
Yep. And then he sold the second one about a year later and it brought $86,250.
Now, how is this on par with like 55 double dice?
55 double dice are much more common, though they are. The doubling is very, very similar.
It's spectacular.
It is.
I
It's
don't
very
think
awesome.
there's any other word that you can use to describe it.
No, they're awesome coins. But as far as the doubling goes, they're very similar. But as far as the availability and the mintage, which we don't know the mintage of any of these are, but the perceived mintage, the 69s are much rarer. So, neat coins.
Now, on the flip side of this coin, I'm going to take your place because, you know, you're usually talking about more valuable coins.
Which, I mean, the 69 S's are valuable, the double dice, but...
They are, but it's a little bit more of a modern thing. And so I'm going to put on my Mad hat.
All right. I'll
Now,
take off my Mike hat.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're going to stretch it out. As you know, Matt, though, I'm a big fan of, 20th century coinage. And much of that is due to the fact that it's more within, what I like to call the budget collector's grasp. But some of that is also due to the design of the coinage before it was turned into these memorial pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arguably, some of the most beautiful coinage ever produced by the U.S. Mint comes from the early part of the 1900s.
Yes, it does.
And the fact that it's plentiful and therefore affordable is a blessing to this hobby, in my opinion. And it will make the hobby accessible to at least one more generation going forward. So as I've become a more seasoned collector, my tastes have evolved a little bit. And over the course of the past 5 years or so, you've noticed I've taken kind of a step back from collecting.
Yes.
And I've ventured more towards study and research of the hobby. But lately I've been kind of getting that itch again. I've been yearning to return, and that I've noticed that I've started making purchases again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I know, it's the beginning of the end.
Knowing you for as long as I've known you, if you have actually purchased a coin, then I'll be very impressed.
Well, I haven't yet.
Not yet.
No.
Because knowing you, you've been on the books like crazy. So.
Oh, you know that. It's like, and I've been looking at examples. So, being a type collector primarily, there are a lot of really nice 20th century coins there are really not a lot of 20th century coins that have escaped my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I've often wondered where I would go next. And I think that I've finally found the answer to that question.
Oh, where are you going, buddy?
Well, I'm comfortable spending up to, and I mean up to, about $750 on a coin as a major purchase.
Okay.
And I tend to like to keep my budget under $500 so I can afford to purchase more than 1 or 2 coins a year.
Basically, so the wife doesn't kill you.
Well, yeah, and it's easier to hide from her. I've discovered that, an as yet unstudied niche of the 20th century, at least for me, and that is the early 20th century gold coins.
Ooh.
Now,
you're speaking my language.
And see, I told you I'm putting on my Mad hat. I had to put some padding in there to get it to fit, but the fact your Freudian slip is showing, Mike. The fact that FDR halted the production of gold coins in 1933, it would make most think that there's just not a lot of variety to choose from in 20th century gold. But quite to the contrary, we had a design change in gold coinage right after the turn of the century.
Mm-hmm.
And the variety, I can't think of it as anything other than a cornucopia of designs to collect by a number of artists.
Yeah.
Now,
including some of the most talented artists ever to design coins, I should say.
Absolutely. I keep referring to the Renaissance of American coinage, and it produced some of the most loved and collected designs of our time. But it actually all started with the change of designs in gold coinage during the administration of Teddy Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. I find it ironic that one Roosevelt beautified gold coinage, And just a couple of decades later, another Roosevelt ended it completely. It's kind
Maybe
of
there was
ironic.
some deeper family issues going on there.
Maybe so. But it's been my experience that many people would credit Augustus St. Gaudens, and that's, I think, who you were referring to,
Yes, it is.
with designing the most beautiful coin in U.S. history in the $20 double eagle.
I think two of the most beautiful coins, including the $10 Indian as well.
Well, I was going to say there's merit to that statement, but many don't know that he also designed the $10 Indian gold eagle.
Yeah.
And had he lived a bit longer, may have also redesigned the $5 and $2.50 coins.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not, and Bella Lyon Pratt ended up designing the $5 and $2.50 coins. But it mimics St. Gaudens Indian head eagle design,
Oh, yeah.
but yet takes its own tack at the design by sinking the relief into the surface of the coin. You know, many have mistakenly referred to that as an incused design, but technically, it is sunken relief.
Yeah.
You know, as the design is still raised from the coin.
Hmm.
Now, these coins are just strikingly beautiful, and they're plentiful for collecting. You know, there's only a few dates of this type that would be considered rare,
That's true.
and thus it makes them available on a much smaller budget. You know, you can collect $2.50 coins if your means are modest, like mine, and $5 coins if you'd like a little bit larger example. And because of the way that they're struck, you learn new things about the minting process and how coins fare after leaving the mint. You know, because the surfaces of the coin are the high point on the coin, you know, the fields
Mm-hmm. On the 2.5s and 5s.
on the two and a halves and fives. And so, you know, you see how they have ended up wearing over the years and how it affected the actual Indian design. And I just think it's another cool thing that adds to your study of coins and coining and coin, you know, design.
I have to ask you a question.
Yeah,
Where is Mike, and what have you done with him?
I know. It's amazing, isn't it? I told you the collector's coming back out.
Well, that's okay. I'm not complaining a bit. I'm just very surprised to hear that from you. So
Now, if you're more inclined to the older Liberty Head designs, there are four denominations of those to choose from, and most of them are sold at close to their gold melt value. You know, within 20, 30, $50.
yeah, usually anywhere from 10 to 30% is kind of the ballpark.
Yeah. And I mean, you have 2.5 all the way up to 20s,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you know. So collecting Liberty Head gold also gives you proof examples
Yes.
that are within reach. And I must say that if you've never seen proof gold coins, they are very eye appealing and
Yes.
quite spectacular.
I actually own one right now.
See, if you can afford to own one, it is a purchase that will provide hours of enjoyment for you.
They're cool. They're
They
really
are.
cool.
Now, as some of the people who listen know, I'm a little bit older than you are. I've probably got 20 years on you. So
Yeah.
for the people of my generation, I understand why, you know, these coins may have gone ignored for just years and years and years, because it was rare to see them in coin shops when I was growing up. You know, I knew almost no one who collected gold coins. And it wasn't really until the mid 90s that I saw my first gold coins in person.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, it wasn't until sometime in the when were we allowed to start buying gold again?
in the mid
72.
70s, like
Yeah.
74.
Yeah. So I mean, that would make sense why you didn't see too
Yeah,
many of them.
and the majority of the gold coins that survived were in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and it took a while for them to filter back into the United States. So, you know, by the 80s when we started producing gold eagles, you know, it became more common to see gold coins. And then it became more common to see classic gold coins, which, you know, was just kind of a thing. And then it was just a matter of me putting myself in places where those kind of coins would be available.
Sure.
You know, so that such a great period in coinage history can be ignored really kind of puzzles me a bit. You know, I'll admit that although I've been aware of their existence, I haven't really considered them up to this point either. You know, I've never seen a 20th century typeset that included them.
There are some. Dansko used to have a page that you could add into your 70/70 set that would cover that last 20th century gold.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I'm talking about your basic 20th century type set, which is it's the gateway drug for a lot of collectors.
Yeah.
They kind of come in and they put together this 20th century type set because it covers a lot of different series and there's some really beautiful coins in there and things like that. But 20th century type sets in general don't go to the gold, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they're really out of reach for most 20th century type collectors.
Yeah, I mean the guys that do type stuff. I mean, if you're going to be, if you can, a lot of the times you can either buy a nice uncirculated like 17 standing Liberty quarter, or you could buy a 2.5 Indian for the same price.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much the same money. So, the designs are they're varied, and the supply of coins is pretty plentiful.
yes.
Almost nobody that finds them to be unattractive or boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I asked myself, why not look to them to broaden my collecting horizons? These series should be loved and shared. We should extol their virtues to new collectors as we share our love of the hobby. If you're looking for a new avenue to turn to on your collecting journey, I would urge that you consider these as well. Now I haven't purchased my first coin from these series yet, but I will readily admit that they're giving me the excitement of the hobby again.
Uh-oh.
And that is a very good thing.
Yeah.
It's like Mike is back.
Mike's on his comeback tour.
Mike said, yeah, I'm going to go on the world tour now. But I just, I thought about it and I was like, this stuff, it's...
What it is, you've been hanging out with me too long, I think. I've warped
maybe
your
you've
fragile
been a bad
little mind.
influence.
Yes.
Maybe you've been a bad influence on me.
That's the truth. Well, bad, good.
Yes.
Put it how you will.
Well, it depends on if you're talking to my wife or me. But seriously, it's something that I think has kind of been ignored, and particularly the people of my generation. It was ignored because, they weren't out there for the longest time. I mean, I was 12 before they were even legal to own again.
Mm-hmm.
And, we think about, there's almost a 50-year window out of the entire century where they weren't around. So that's
pretty awesome.
I
like your segment, Mike.
It puts baby off in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I knew if I threw it out there, you'd just... Okay, Matt, you've been cheating on us lately
I know.
because you've been talking about stuff in the shows and things that walk up to your table, and although a lot of it is very cool stuff, you haven't really talked about the core of this segment.
I know.
Coolest thing that walks into Matt's shop.
Sometimes cool stuff just doesn't walk in. I can't help it. It's not something I can control. I might not see.
You mean 33 double eagles don't walk in every single week?
No, not every single week. But sometimes I get 3 or 4 coins that would be front runners for this most weeks at one time. So it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to pick, and sometimes it's hard to pick. So this particular week, though, I don't know how many. I think I mentioned it to you, but I don't know if I mentioned it on the show or not yet. That our research assistant Sam is now working for me, and Sam has a pretty good knowledge base of early American copper. So we were sitting in the shop the other day, and I kind of said, "Hey Sam, what should I talk about? What's the coolest thing that walked in the shop this week?" And he said, I think you should talk about the 1848 Newcomb 36 that we bought. And I said, oh, okay, that's a cool coin. And the story behind this coin, I think, is neater than the coin itself. This coin was in an old collection, and when it came to us, it was what's a good way to explain it? Kind of like the color of moss.
Okay, now hold on a second, because you've described it so far as an 1848 Newcomb
36 large
36.
set. I'm sorry.
Yes, and I have to explain to the beginners out there that this is a large set.
This is a large cent. Yep.
The
And
Newcomb numbers are die pairings.
die pairings. Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Some die pairings were used to make a whole lot of coins. Some die pairings were not used to make very many coins. So, you can use the Newcomb book to go through and figure out which one's which, and identify some rarer ones that way. Which the Newcomb 36 happens to be a pretty rare one. But when the coin came to us in the collection that it was about the color of moss because of improper storage. It had developed a very, very thick layer of PVC, um, almost to the point where the coin was kind of hard to look at because it was just in such bad shape.
So it had a lot of verdigris.
No, it wasn't verdigris. It was just green.
Great. It was
And
envious.
no, it was covered in PVC, which was just from improper storage.
Ah.
So luckily, I was able to conserve the coin with a bath in acetone and some carefully applied Q-tips. But I was able to take off pretty much all the green, leaving us with a nice coin that is in the AU58 kind of range.
Really?
Yeah. So I was doing a little homework. And the finest known Newcomb 36 is in an MS62 holder. So the way they grade these things nowadays, this coin may even go 62. It's hard to say. But it's very possible that we have found either the finest known or one of the finest known of this particular die pairing, which is an R5, which means there are approximately 40 to 60 pieces known total.
Now, I've heard of people conserving PVC damaged coins through using olive oil.
Olive oil, I think that works more on verdigris than it does on PVC, though I could see where it would. PVC if you don't know what PVC is, it stands for polyvinyl chlorate, which is an agent that is used in plastic to make it flexible.
Yeah, to make it soft.
It's a plasticizer. And over time, this plastic breaks down, and the PVC will actually leach out of the plastic and get on your coin. So if you have your coins and you look at them and you see this kind of film that's kind of hazy and kind of got a green tint to it, that's PVC, and you need to take it off.
Yeah, you need to get that coin out of that holder right away.
Because in some instances, if PVC is left to have its way with the coin, it can actually damage the coin or destroy it. I was lucky that this particular coin somehow did not end up damaged with the amount of PVC that was on it, which was a lot. Because
the PVC actually eats into the surface of the coin, doesn't
eventually, I think the PVC, depending on the storage as well, I think sometimes if a coin is stored in an environment that's regulated, that the PVC doesn't tend to eat into the coin as much. But if it's stored like in an attic or a barn or something, and it gets PVC on it, those are the coins that we see that get really ate up. So, but anyways, the coin it cleaned up nicely. We were able to get it conserved, and we're going to send it into to NGC and see what she does.
And it is your opinion that it is going to grade?
I think so. Hopefully, I mean,
you're able to conserve it well enough.
I think we were able to remove the PVC and the coin. Luckily, was undamaged by the PVC. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, that's a really rare coin. I mean, this could make what's called the condition census, which is like the top 5 or 7 known examples by grade. So it's a rare coin.
Wow. And what do you expect its value might approach?
Well, an AU Details coin sold at auction a couple years ago, and it had been cleaned, and it brought about $1,800. So not a big money coin, but this coin could.
Well, for a cent, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, for a coin that's normally $150, $200 for a common die pairing, this one could be worth $3,000 if it certifies as like a 58. So it's a rare coin.
We would like to thank our contributors, the Facebook friends, Twitter followers, people who follow our blogs, people who wrote to ask questions, or people who have in some other way inspired us. Our thanks to the great folks at the ANA, the American Numismatic Association, for their support. Visit them at money.org. We are giving away 100 ANA memberships.
We have some left.
We have some left.
Holy cow.
Yes, and these are really nice memberships. They are gold level memberships.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
See, you up the ante. I raised the bar just a little bit further, giving away gold level memberships. If you would like a free 1 year gold level ANA membership, all you have to do is send me an email, mike@coinshowradio.com. Give me your name, address, phone number, and your email address. Put them in an email, send them to me, say I'd like a free ANA membership, and I will hook up 100 people.
Man, that's awesome.
That is a lot. And thanks to the ANA for their generosity.
They are awesome too.
They are awesome. Our thanks to Tony Alvarez and the Tony Alvarez Band for our theme music. Visit them at TonyAlvarezBand.com. We'd also like to thank the Coffin Cats for their musical contributions. And congratulations to Coffin Cat Eric Walls on his marriage this week.
The poor fella.
I know. He hasn't figured that out yet.
Don't do it.
But he looks like he has a beautiful bride, and we wish them all the happiness in the world.
Because we sure don't have any. No.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Man, if Sarah hears this, you're in trouble.
She won't.
No worries about that, huh? Visit the Coffin Cats online at coffincatsrock.com. We'd also like to thank May Otley for her help, and a big thanks to our intern and research assistant, Sam the Man Schaefer.
Sam the Man.
Sam the Man, who could use to post a few more pictures to your coolest thing blog.
Yes.
Just saying.
Hey, that's true. That's a good idea.
Just saying. Yeah, well, just saying. And while these people are important contributors to this show, their importance absolutely pales in comparison to you, the listeners, without whom this entire endeavor would be completely pointless, and we probably wouldn't be doing it.
That's true.
We love our audience. We love our audience contributions even more. Send us your thoughts. Email us at mike@coinshowradio.com or matt@coinshowradio.com. You can also ask us questions. Send a question to questions@coinshowradio.com. Visit our webpage at coinshowradio.com. There you'll find all kinds of new things to explore and enjoy. Report what you think back to us. We always welcome your feedback on our site and what you'd like to see us do. You can ask questions there, as well as give other feedback about the show. We have people that when we post new blog items, they make comments.
Mm-hmm.
They
click that little heart button.
They do. And we're always excited to see that. We are currently soliciting contributions for our 100th episode. If you would like to wish us luck, congratulate us, or offer a message of some other kind, please email me, mike@coinshowradio.com. But we only have a couple more weeks before we record, so please send us your stuff today. Check out Matt's new gallery of the cool stuff that walks into Matt's shop, if he can post some to it. Feel free to stop by and give him some feedback. The pictures are spectacular, those that are up. But try not to drool, or you might damage your desk, or worse yet, your mobile device. Like our page on Facebook. Come and comment on one of our posts, or post something of your own. Just try and keep it coin related. You can find us either by searching The Coin Show or Coin Show Radio. Follow us on Twitter. You'll occasionally find some exclusive content there as well. I must tell you, I had a little rant there last night.
No.
You remember what we were talking about in our pre-show meeting?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going off on last night.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. You can find us or even mention us in your discussion. We are at The Coin Show. We have an Instagram page as well. We're building it every day. Sam is doing a phenomenal job with the Instagram page, and we can be found there as The Coin Show. You can listen to our show on Spreaker.com or on iHeartRadio.com.
Ooh.
Just go to Spreaker.com and search Coin Show Radio, or search iHeartRadio for Coin Show Radio. Or you can find our show on players at various internet sites, such as money.org and cointalk.com. If you'd like to host a player on your website, just email me, mike@coinshowradio.com, for details. Is it details or is it details?
Details.
Details. I'm from Detroit. We have yet to receive enough 100th episode contributions. Don't be shy. Help us make the 100th episode something special. We've got a couple of notables that are checking in with some stuff, which I really think that's nice. Just record something like, "Hi, this is so and so from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I just wanted to say congrats to Mike and Matt on 100 episodes of the Coin Show." So send us something and help us celebrate. We've resolved the download issues, but we still urge you to discover and explore our apps. There's a Windows 8 app. It's available in the Windows 8 phone app store. Download it several thousand times now because we need the money. Or if you have an Android phone, we have one for you as well. Download it on Amazon for only $1.99. Both are bargains for your entertainment dollar and are guaranteed status symbols. And as always, our show is available for free on iTunes. You can download full versions of the show there. We urge you to do so. Share it with your friends. More people continue to find us every single day and wonder why they've never listened before. Be the first among your friends to find the Coin Show. Share it with them. You'll be the trendsetter. Your jealous friends will be trend followers. So for the Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on the Coin Show.